Hey everyone, and welcome to another GameMaker tutorial. Today we're going to be making a very simple shop based off ini files. Okay, so to start off with, I've made this sprite 64 by 64 square. It's just a white square that says buy me. So that's going to be our shop button. So the way we're using the ini files is to save what we've bought and also the amount of money we have left. You don't have to do it the exact way I've done it, but this will put you in the right direction of creating your own shops. Okay, now to start off with, I'm going to show you my constant variables. Okay, so beneath constants and all configurations, I have this variable called ini, so ini, and the value is a string, and it's just tutini.ini, so it's just the name of the ini file that I'm using. Okay, so it just allows me to, instead of writing out the whole file name, I can just write in ini and it will reference to this variable instead. Okay, next I have this script, so scr_ini. What this does is it creates the ini file when I call the script, or if it's already made, it'll run through all the keys, and then if a key doesn't exist, it'll make that. Okay, so start off with, we're opening the ini file. You can see I've used the ini constant here already, and that's just the file name. Okay, so then we start off by checking to see if a key exists. So in the shop section of the ini file, we're looking for the money key. So the money key is a variable that's going to be saved to the ini file to store how much money we have. Okay, so when it checks this key, if it doesn't exist, so you can see if not ini key exists, so if it doesn't exist, then ini write real shop money 0. So what that will do, if it doesn't exist, it will write that key to the file and give it a value of 0. And it's the exact same thing beneath, except instead of money we're using item, and that item variable is going to hold the amount of whatever item we're buying. Okay, and then afterwards you close the ini, which is very important. Always remember to close the ini file once you're done with it. Okay, so I can tick that off. Yes, next I have objects. Now, in a lot of games, you'll have a room, like a splash screen or a menu or something, where you can have an object which sets up the variables in all your games. In this case, I've only got one room though, so just bear with me on that one. Okay, so anyway, I've got this object called obj game setup, and in the create event, I'm running my scr_ini file, and then I'm just destroying the instance. Now, in a lot of cases, if you have a splash screen, you can just put this object in there, and then you wouldn't need to destroy the instance directly after. But in this case, because there's only one room, we don't need it once it's run that script, so we're just destroying it. And oftentimes, because the games are going to be bigger than this little shop, you'll have other variables that you can set up in here too, so it won't just be like a one-line thing and a waste of an object. But this is just a way that I do things. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, so all we're doing, we're running the ini script which I just showed you, then we're just destroying the instance and getting rid of it. Remember the depth on this, because for this tutorial we need this to run its code before the others. So I've set the depth to 999 to make sure that happens. Okay, so we can add that to our game room now. As you can see, I've already put the button object in there, and you wouldn't have that made yet, so don't worry about that. So for now, just put in your game setup button wherever you want in the room. Make sure you only put in one. Okay, so next we go to shop controller. So I've made this shop controller here, so it's called obj shop controller. It's just a create event, and it essentially just gets the global variables going for us. So in this case we've got ini open, ini again, so that's a file name, and global.money equals ini read real shop money 0. So in that ini script you saw that we were creating this key, the money key. So under the shop section of the ini file, the money key, and then the default value, if it can't find it, it's going to be 0. So if the key doesn't exist for whatever reason, global.money will be set to 0 instead of giving you an error. If you really want to make sure it's being created and like have a way of telling if it's working or not, you can set this like -5 and then remember that value. So if it ever does show up as that value, you'll know that something's gone wrong with reading the ini file. Okay, so that's our shop controller. Now again, there's like hardly any code in that, so it seems like a waste of an object. Like, why didn't I just put that in the game setup? I didn't do that because in most cases you're going to have like a separate room for your shop, and the game setup will be in a separate room as well. So this is like planning for a bigger game, pretty much. That's something you got to remember with GameMaker. So it's a tip: make sure you've got like things planned out, or like a good idea of how things are going to work in your head. You really want to kind of visualize what needs to be happening during the game and make sure that you plan for any future things that you try to add. Alright, so continuing on, OBJ button. So I've given this the sprite and just called it OBJ button, and this has a bit more code in it. Okay, so in the create event, again we're opening our ini file ready for reading and writing, so just ini open and then ini, which is our file name. Then we're creating a local variable called amount and setting that variable to whatever value item equals in the ini file. So under shop, item key, default value being 0. Now again, if you really want to make sure that this is working, set it to like -5 or just something that you'll remember. It's like creating your own error code in a way. But yeah, so the default value is 0, but if it exists and the value is higher than that, then it'll get that value instead. And then after that, we close the ini file and continue on. So next, I'll show you the draw event. Okay, so we start off by drawing the sprite. So draw the object itself to make sure that it's still visible in the room. Okay, then draw text. 4 on the x-axis and 4 on the y-axis, and then string amount. Make sure that is in quotation marks, or GameMaker will think that's the variable. We don't want that. This is just like a indicator of what the number that we're about to draw is. So amount, and then string, so plus string, and then the amount variable here. Plus string again, and then I've got space, dash space, just to add a gap between the last value and this one. Okay, and then money, and then there's another space after that, so remember that's in quotation marks as well. That's a string. Okay, and then plus string global.money, and then the ending brackets. Okay, so what that's doing is it's drawing our amount variable to the screen, and it's drawing our money variable to the screen, and adding a bit of text in between those so that we can see exactly what is what. Continuing to our last event is the left released event. Okay, so buying the item. So we size that a bit. Okay, so buying the item. So that's just a comment there, so that you can see what's going on. Okay. If global.money is higher or equal to 5, so we've got higher or equal to 5. Okay, so that means that if the money's 6 or more, we're able to buy it, or if the money is equal to 5, we can buy it. If it's lower, then it won't do it. Okay, so amount plus plus. So what that's doing is using our local variable, it's adding 1 to that, so that our amount goes up by 1. Because we've just bought another one. Okay, global.money minus equals 5, so we're taking away $5 or euros, whatever currency you're using, or it might just be coin. Like for a game currency, you got to kind of use those globally recognized currencies. So it's taking away 5 of whatever currency you have. Okay. And that's from the global variable, so if our global variable was 5, if it was like 10, then it would go back to 5. Yeah. Ini open, and then ini again, so it's a constant variable. Ini write real, so we're writing to the ini file now, we're not just reading from it. Okay, shop item. and then we're going to write our amount variable to the item key, remembering that at the start of this object we read the item variable to get the amount that we had previously, and now we're writing to it after we've added 1 to the amount. So say we read back 5, there would then be 6 at this point, and then we're writing that variable to the ini file, so instead of it listing 5 in that file, it's going to list 6. Okay, ini write real shop and then money. So we've got the shop section of the ini file, and then we've got the money key. So global.money. So what we're doing here is we're writing the money amount to the ini file. So again, up here we've taken away 5 from that value, and again this is read back in object shop controller from the ini file, so it might be like 10. Okay, so then we're taking 5 away from that and writing the new value back to our ini file. Okay, so then we close the ini file and the if statement there, and that's it. So I should already have the object game set up in your room if you did it back when I said to. You don't have to do it then, that was just a decent point to do it, I thought. Next you want to add your button, and then you want to put in your shop controller somewhere as well. So the button can be anywhere, it doesn't have to be in the middle, I just thought that was a decent spot for it. Okay, you can run the game and get that ini file made. So, yeah, hit the run button. And if all goes well, you get this. So amount 0, money 0, and the buy me button. So if you click on that, nothing's going to happen. And now you can close off the game. And if you go to the start button and computer, go local disk C, users, your name, app data, and then local, and then depends on the project name, you want to look for that project name as one of these folders. So in this case mine is Tut Shop, so just here. Okay, and then inside that folder we have this, the tutini.ini, except it'll be whatever name you chose for the ini file. So if you chose the same as me, that's what it'll be. Otherwise it'll be whatever you chose. Anyway, so this is the ini file that our game just created. So you can open that, and you'll see inside it you've got the shop for the section, item equals 0, and money equals 0. Now to buy anything we need money. So remember that it costs 5, you can change that value if you want, that's just as an example. So I'm going to give the player 20. So you can type 20 into that, and then hit file, save. So what we've done is we've just set money in the ini file to 20 instead of 0. So we can X that away and run our game again. And as you can see, money is now 20 instead of 0, but the amount is still 0. So now if we click this buy me button, amount goes up by 1 and money goes down by 5. So you can click it again, again, and again, just waste all our money. Okay, so now if you X away this game again, and go back to our folder, and open the ini file again, then you can see item equals 4 and money equals 0. So let's set the money back up to 20 again, and save that, then reopen it, rerun the game. As you can see, amount equals 4 and money equals 20 again. So we'll buy 3 things and get money to like 5, and the amount is now 7. Exit away and check your file again. You can see that money is saved as 5, which is what we were left over with before, and item is now up to 7. So you can see that that works. And if I wanted, I could even set item up to like 1000 in this file, and then just save that and rerun the game. And amount equals 1000, money equals 5. So yeah, that is how, like, it's a really basic way of making a shop for your games. If you've got any tutorial requests, request those via the Facebook page. There'll be a link in the description for that, or Google+. If there's any questions on this video, then comment on this video. Hit the like button if this helps you out, and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Hope this helped.